It Chicago with Claudio, Miranda, and really excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So Claudio, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Well, I know how long of it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think a lot of us, when we were first in cannabis, with everything with Prop 215 in California, we thought that would be like, it just everything seemed so much easier then. We thought that the ramp up for legalization in California and the rest of the country would be a lot faster and smoother. And it's turned out to be a lot longer and bumpier and more of a labyrinth. And so I wish I knew that, because I think most of us would have made different business decisions had we known it would be more of a marathon. Because you really got to be in it for the long haul. As we know, a lot of capital came in and people spent it quickly and overextended and over-leveraged and grew too fast. So now it's like slow and steady. We have a saying, the tortoise wins the race. And so the tortoise shall win this race.
I totally agree with that. I actually was just in the Minnesota market, and I'm predicting that they might be one of those tortoises. They're a little bit slow, but
yes.
So we'll see. But I agree with you.
Yes. So that's what I wish I learned, that I started like the rabbit, but now I'm the tortoise.
You heard it here. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
Thanks, Claudio.
Thank you.
I'm Tiana with Grass Goddess Consulting here at IgniteIt Chicago, and I'm really excited. I have one of the MCs, Laurie Parfitt, here with me. How's it going, Laurie?
It's going great. It is so nice to be here, Dina. This is the most amazing conference. It's definitely where deals get done, and in my opinion, the best conference of the year.
Oh my gosh. And you were killing it up on the stage, looking amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And I really cannot wait to hear your answer to the question that I've been asking everyone. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Everything takes longer than you expect it to. So when I started in the industry in 2019, my boss was like, oh, this is going to happen in April. Well, it took a year from that point. And so you always have to make sure you build in lots of extra time. Cannabis is the most difficult industry I have ever worked in. And so everything takes time. Everything takes longer than you think. It doesn't run like other industries. So you have to build that in and be ready for things to progress at a much slower pace, or in some cases not work out and have to pivot.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys felt that really significantly here in Illinois with the licensing. We're feeling it right now with the rescheduling. So absolutely.
Right. And we're dealing it with right now on the beverage side as well, with the hemp versus the regulated THC. And we still don't know what's going to happen. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm not going to guess, because you never know.
Totally. It's a loser's game, gambling and cannabis.
It is. We've learned that the hard way. But it's the best industry to be in. And if you want to make a difference and be with the best people in the entire world, cannabis is for you.
Two girls that went to New Trier met in cannabis. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Laurie. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dina Naguib with Grass Goddess Consulting here at IgniteIt Chicago. Really excited to ask Jake Kuczeruk the question that I've been asking everyone. What do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
It's a great question. I'd say for me, what I wish I knew when I got into it is honestly just the appreciation for old school genetics. You know, I feel like, you know, back in the day, you always had something that hits differently and you're always trying to find it. You know, but it was, you never had, you know, replicate, you know, the supply chain was always so fragmented, you know, you can never get the same stuff. But, you know, for me, I always hunt out old school land races. And to me, it just makes all the difference in the high. You know?
Yeah. And like taste and smell, those senses, like the memory are so strong. So yeah.
The terp profile in old school, you know, like you can find so many weird notes that you just don't see in the same sea of Z crosses and runs. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there's a place for both, but I feel like the biggest thing is my appreciation's been heightened, not only for old school genetics, but also outdoor cultivation. You know, I mean, when I was first getting into it, it was indoors king, it's the best, but Now, I mean, anything outside, it's forced to harden itself against the elements, increase resin production, and ultimately give you something that can be even more flavorful, I dare say, than indoor. So,
Absolutely. The smells you get from sun-grown are so intense. I love it.
yeah. Well, growing up in the Midwest, I mean, we didn't really have options. Yeah, I think that's been the biggest thing. It's like having options. Working in the regulated market is a game changer.
I love that, Jake. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm Dina Naguib here at IgniteIt Chicago. Really exciting. I have Scott Schmidt, who I've interviewed before in West Hollywood, here to answer the question that I've been asking everyone. So, Scott, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
It's something that I probably knew at the time, but putting it into action is what matters. Is that it's not about what you say; it's about how you make people feel. And in this industry, it's about the community, it's about the connections. The vibes you give are going to be the vibes that you get. And so, a lot of times I see people that are out here doing sales pressure and all those things, and that might be good in the short term. It might build a list of folks, but for those folks to follow up with you, you've got to leave them with a positive impression and feeling good. So really focus on putting out the good vibes, and you'll get them back.
I love that. Cannabis, it's all about how it makes you feel. That's what we want.
Exactly. Well, and the thing about cannabis, about especially pure California flower, is it's not always predictable. Sometimes it sends you on a journey, and sometimes it surprises you with the journey that it sends you on. And that's the thing about this industry is that the folks that have been around and they're survivors. That's why we should honor and pay attention to those who came before us. These legacy folks who have been here for a long time, that were there through the prohibition and the tough days, they've seen it all. They've been through the good times and they've been through the bad. And until you've been through the bad, you really people don't understand what a test that can be in this industry. So look for those legacy folks and understand the culture and try and authentically plug into that.
Absolutely. We got to honor the legacy. Thank you so much, Scott.
Hey, thank you, Dina.
I'm Dina Naguib here at IgniteIt Chicago. Really excited. I have Ian Rassman here with me. How you doing, Ian?
I'm great. It's awesome to be here with you, Dina. Here we are in Chicago.
Yes!
IgniteIt. I'm so excited. I love this show.
Yes, we love Chicago. We love IgniteIt. I'm excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone, Ian.
Tell me.
Okay, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Wow, that's a good question.
Thank
I think we're coming on 11 years now. I think if I were to hone in on one single theme, I would say it's community. I wish that I had realized 11 years ago how much of an important part community plays in being successful at whatever we do. Coming out to these events, look at this community that's out here in Chicago today and tomorrow. This is real community here, and I think that's what I wish I understood better when I first started, was how important community is going to become. We have to go to these things. We have to shake people's hands. We have to meet up. We have to know who we're potentially doing business with. So, yeah, I'm going to fall back on community. I wish I'd been more clear in my understanding of how important that really is.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it now. I mean, you're one of the leaders of the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, which is going global.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, that community.
And that is really exciting. And that's a little bit where I was going. So now I'm really focused on community building. And yes, so I'm the executive vice chair at the Cannabis Chamber of Commerce. We are, and of course, you're such a big part of it in San Diego too.
Yeah, part of the San Diego leadership.
Yeah, that's right. But what you've recognized, and what I think people around the world are recognizing, is that everybody wants to be part of this cannabis community, and we are looking for leaders in their local, regional markets to stand up and say, "Hey, I'm ready to be a leader here in this country, in this city, in this state." And in the last 12 months, or 14 months, I've put a lot of effort into building out our international chapters, and I'm proud to report 14 months later, we've got just about 25 international chapters in Africa, Europe, of course, South America, Asia Pacific. I think that the reason that people are identifying this, again, is it comes back to community. As these markets start to come online, everybody's looking for their community. Well, where do I go? How do I find who's working in my region? Who are the suppliers, the distributors, the operators? we really need community to just keep finding each other. So that's where I'm putting all my efforts this year, is into building community. My business is payments.
Yes.
Payments will come from community. All of us will find success when we build community with keep showing up. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Ian. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's great to be here. Always great seeing you, Dina.
Oh, you too. I'm Dina Naguib here at IgniteIt Chicago. Really excited. I have Brian Holler here, and I'm going to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone.
Okay.
So, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
A very, very good question, and a very hard one. Honestly, there's a lot that comes to mind, to be honest with you. The number one thing I think I could say that might make a difference, I hope, for somebody, would probably be follow-up. Like, follow-up's really important regardless, but it's really important in our space. Everybody's running really fast. There's a lot of stuff going on. You have to be a little bit more aggressive than maybe your gut would want you to be. And I guess my advice would be don't be afraid to lean into that a little bit. What's the worst thing that can happen? Somebody's like, hey, can you slow down a bit? You're all right. But bottom line is, like, I think people miss a lot of opportunities simply by not doing what you would consider best practices, which is, hi, I went to this amazing event. I met a lot of people. I had a lot of great conversations. Maybe I should actually try to pursue those things and really put a very good concerted effort behind doing so. I think a lot of people think, hey, I'm solo, I'm running fast. It'll come around, right? I'll get to them, that sort of a thing. You won't. You really won't. So follow up with people.
That's a great point. And bringing best practices to cannabis is really so important. And that's one of the things with all the people from different industries coming to cannabis that,
I think it's important. I mean, obviously, yes, you got to line up with whoever you're working with or whatever. But in terms of like best practices, it's just more like, well, this is how business is done. So there's a layer of that you just sort of need to understand. And then you just grow from there. That's where you get your differentiators. So when people say best practices, that's basically what they're meaning, is like, what's the minimum that everybody should do no matter what kind of business you are?
Yep. Got to get business done.
Got to get business done. Got to have I think that would be another thing I would say too, is have a strategy in mind, right? Like really, like even though it's going to be fun and you're going to be hanging out with people you love and that you do business with or that you're prospecting or whatever, have a strategy. I mean, you didn't just pay here to be here for nothing, like have a plan, have a plan.
Yep. Have a plan, do good business.
Follow up accordingly and grow and have fun.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dina. I appreciate you too, as always. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Dina Naguib. I'm here at IgniteIt in Chicago with Tiana Woodruff, and I'm really excited to ask the question that I've been asking everyone. So, Tiana,
yes,
what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Well, let's see. I mean, other than cannabis itself, right? I mean, I've always known about the plant. Everyone's, weed, there's a lot of controversy around like weed does or doesn't just sell itself. I still think it does. If you've got cannabis products, you've got a commodity and you've got money, no matter how broke your business is, if you still got products, you can sell it somewhere, somehow. But one of the biggest things I think I learned is not all money is good money. You have to really, really pick who you work with. This is a very volatile business. It doesn't go easy. A lot of ups and downs, and people that you can that still believe in you, that can help you guide you through the ups and downs. I mean, I learned that I have a whole thing on learning my $100,000 lesson. No joke. I had a $100,000 lesson to learn. Lost $100,000 of my own money. There was nothing I could do about it. And I think in cannabis, it's a risk, and I don't think you realize that coming in. You don't realize that everyone was like the green rush. We're all going to be millionaires. It's the new biggest thing since tobacco, or like the invention of Facebook, right? It's like the new industry. There's not a lot of new industries. So I think what I wish I had known then that I knew now is that it's not the green rush. It's still, we are literally in the dark ages, and we are building an industry from the ground up, which is amazing and exciting, but it's slow. Like, we're like the original bootleggers in liquor, right? We're over here making stuff in our garages and in our kitchens still, like there's a lot not in this industry. And so to think that it's a green rush and that we're all just going to be rich is like, there's a lot of paths that have not been opened yet. And so would I still have gotten into cannabis today? I think if I had known what I know now, yes. Because I love the plant. I love this industry. I love the what if. the possibilities are there, but you can't just grab them. You got to chase them and you got to create them. So yeah, I'd still enter the industry, but with a little more caution, probably not so optimistic and dumb. I've had a few mistakes, or even just lessons learned from people in the industry and how business works. And outside of cannabis, just business in general, having a general idea, of what's liable, personal with money, if someone does you wrong, you can sue them, or you can get your money back, or you can complain to a department store. And in cannabis, like with retail as a brand, if retailers don't want to pay you, or if they go under, the creditors get paid, but all the brands are left behind. And to see what happened to me with my $100,000 lesson and losing that, like, I had no recourse to go after this person because they're like, well, did you get a personal guarantee? And I'm like, a guarantee of what? It was a business. It wasn't like a loan or a lease. What are you talking about? So yeah, there's just a lot like that I know now that I didn't know. But if I'd have known all those things, I'd have just approached things differently and worked a little harder and probably gotten to where I am maybe a little faster and be a little more successful than I am. But those lessons were learned and I'm still here. So,
oh my gosh, maybe, who knows? I wouldn't call you dumb, maybe a little naive, but I think we all were coming into the industry.
Very naive and green and happy and just like, I got something, I'm going to do this, and it's so different and everyone's going to want this. And it's like, no, well, everyone might want it, but you have to show them what it is first.
Yeah. Well, I love Queen Mary, and I thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I hope the show's working out great for you.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tiana.
All right, take care.
Hi, I'm Dina Naguib with Grass Goddess Consulting here at IgniteIt Chicago. Really excited to ask Jessica Ferranti the question that I've been asking everyone. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in cannabis?
Yeah. I think it's not even cannabis specific for me personally. Over the years, and I was telling you earlier, I have heard this on repeat from so many women here in the industry, and it's, oh gosh, like we're afraid to like water ourselves, like we don't want to water ourselves down, but we feel we need to fit into some mold or some role or be the right person in front of a certain investor or whatever. I wish that I knew earlier. I know now, but it took a long time to get here.
Yeah.
I wish I knew earlier how powerful and how powerful it is and how much would move once I just refused to water myself down, refused to change myself for a different conversation, refused to apologize for oversharing or for saying something quirky. Our greatest power lies in being us. And even on like an investor front, since we're at an investor conference, it's not about diluting yourself to be what you think that investor wants. They don't buy in the numbers, they buy in you. You don't want to be on a phone call 6 months later with that same investor and have to second guess every word that's going to come out of your mouth and how it's going to come out of your mouth. Be yourself. My greatest asset has been shaving away all that insecurity, and it's still there, but leaning into the people who are around me. They're around me for all of who I am. That has given me the confidence, which you need to do everything else, right? That has given me the confidence to do everything, every other step I've had to take on the way up.
Yeah.
Is just that self-love and that refusal to dilute a part of yourself or all of yourself. That's what I wish I knew way younger.
I love that so much. I feel the same way, and I feel like since I've come to cannabis, I can really be my authentic self, and it's really just a beautiful place to be. And I love what you said about how people invest in a person. I think that's important for people to remember.
You have to love yourself first in order to attract the right people who love you,
yes.
Investors included, right? It's all about what you give off, and if you love yourself, there's no external factor that can change that.
Yeah.
If there's enough love within, everything else just comes from that.
Yeah.
So,
the law of attraction. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
I'm Dina Naguib, and I'm here at IgniteIt Chicago at the Smoke Show booth with Shahbaaz Kara-Virani. Really excited to ask you the question that I've been asking everyone. So, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started in the industry?
It is such a good question because this industry has so much to offer you and you learn every single day. I think the thing that I really wish I knew when I started was the diverse range of personalities, skill sets, and experiences across this industry. I came from technology, from software at a big company, and I just didn't realize how many different types of human beings you come across in this industry. And I think understanding and trying to be patient and learning a little bit more about experiences and how people came to be who they are is something that I've come to really appreciate over the last couple of years as I've grown and built real relationships across this beautiful, beautiful space.
I love that so much. The diversity in cannabis is really a beautiful thing. And I think coming to this industry a little older and wiser is, helpful to really understand and be flexible and work with different people. I love it.
Absolutely, especially because this industry is super global and there's so many different languages, there's so many different cultures, there's so many different, my parents are from East Africa, from Kenya. I'm half Indian, half Kenyan. And when I was coming into the industry, you don't have someone from a Kenyan Indian background saying, hey, this is the right industry to be in. My mom almost disowned me when she found out I was leaving a blue chip company to come into cannabis, and now years later she's asking me about topicals and how her friends can get creams and these different types of things. And so I think as an industry, an opportunity for us is to cater to the diversity in the consumer as well, especially because 99.9% of the world doesn't have access to this. And last thing I'll say is the World Cup is in town, in North America, and all of these different human beings have never experienced cannabis in the same way that you can buy groceries. And so how do we as an industry try and talk to them in a way that's disarming and welcoming and that caters to their vulnerability in the buying experience.
Oh, I love that. Normalization is so important, and I think that's a good point about the World Cup.
Absolutely. Maybe no one's asked you this, but am I allowed to ask you the same question back, Tina?
That's funny because I'm doing this whole series the whole year. I'm not going to give my answer up quite yet, but I appreciate you're the first one that's asked me back.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Especially with someone of your stature and experience. I'm looking forward to it. How do I find this? How do I get this information? How do I hear your answer? Where do I follow along?
Stay tuned. I mean, I'm pretty vocal on LinkedIn, so definitely follow me there. Amazing. I'm going to be posting all of these also on my YouTube channel.
Incredible. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I'm definitely going to share mine when it gets released. So I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you so much. SKV. I love it.
Thanks, Tina.